This is sort of a secret video. If you want the secrets about Cancer, shh, because I'm about to spill it all. Now, I need to preface this with saying some of my most favorite people on the entire planet are Cancers, and this is not to offend anyone, but this is to help you glean a deeper understanding about this zodiac sign, this little slice of your own self, because we all have Cancer somewhere in our chart, and to help those who are in relationship, romantically dating a Cancer. So if you're involved with a Cancer, or if you love a Cancer, you're not going to want to miss this video. Hi, everyone. I'm Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer. Welcome to my Cancer video. I am so excited to do this for you. I want to ask you, do you feel protected in your life by your loved ones? Do you feel cared for by others? Do you feel like you belong? Do you feel like others respect your feelings and your thoughts? Are you always more aware of how other people feel, or are others more aware of your feelings? That's an honest question. Are you always the one that has to compromise and meet the person halfway? Or do they meet you halfway sometimes too? Are you the one extending the olive branch? Are you the one fixing the problems? Are you the support system for your family, for your loved one? Do people always accuse you of overreacting? These are really good questions for Cancer. And if you are the Cancer, I'm sure you've thought a lot about those things. If you are the person who's not the Cancer, involved with the Cancer, you might not have asked those questions really deeply with deep penetrating thought and insight before. Cancers, while they might not look like it, they are very, very complex. They are the archetype of the world's mother, or Mother Earth, or Mother Nature, or just mother, or maybe even mama. Mama. They represent, though, truthfully, the soul growth through nurturing life force energy. They hold on tightly to the things that they love. Just think of the crab's claws, right? Think of that grip. That can be a really good thing. And that can also be a very, very painful thing. We'll get deep into the complexity of it all in this video. So stay tuned. I want you to listen to this video in a couple different ways. First, if you're involved with a Cancer and you want to get to know your Cancer that you love, that you're dating, or that you care deeply about. And I really want you to listen to my whole entire Cancer playlist, because I have literally put my soul into those videos. They mean a lot to me, and I think you'll really like them. I think you'll be inspired by the content that's in them. So do watch my entire Cancer playlist if you like this video. And then the second way that I want you to watch this video is I want you to get your gorgeous natal chart. Hopefully you already have that. If you don't, you can go over to my shop tab at soulnavigation.com and you can purchase one there and support the channel. Thank you to everybody who has already done that. Anyways, get your gorgeous natal chart. And I want you to look and see what house and what planets do you have in the sign of Cancer, because this video is going to describe that portion, that slice, that paradigm of your own life. It also speaks volumes if you've got a primary planet here. So if this is your sun, your rising, your moon, your Mercury, your Venus, or your Mars, this video is so important to you. I am mostly speaking about dating a Cancer. However, you can really learn a lot about this part of yourself, this part of your life, by listening to this video. What is so wonderful about being involved with a Cancer, about dating a Cancer, and about the Cancerian part of you? And I'm also going to talk about what is so damn difficult about being involved with a Cancer. And you're going to have to kind of forgive me. And for all those Cancers watching, I know you're going to get your feelings a little bit hurt, and I'm sorry. I just want to help you grow and sort of see yourself from an outside perspective so you can grow those pieces of yourself. And then I'm going to talk about, if you want to break up with your Cancer, what's the best way to do that? And if you got dumped, why that most likely happened. So go look at what house Cancer is in. And that house is the place in your life where you probably play out the archetype of the mother. Even if you're a man, this is still the mother archetype. This is where you're not willing to let go easily. This is where you are very, very sensitive. This might be the most sensitive part of you. Even if your moon is in Scorpio, I would say where you have Cancer is where you are the most sensitive. This is where you are very nurturing, very protective, and super mega massive intuitive. This is the part of your chart that knows what other people are thinking and feeling without them even knowing it. This is the part of your chart that has a high level of psychic ability and awareness. Wherever you have Cancer in your chart, that you have a little bit of resistance in this place. So you have resistance to change. This is a really good time to let me know in the notes below what houses, oftentimes it's 2 houses, do you have Cancer in? That is the sandbox, that is the playground, that is the arena where you have a little bit of a closed mind. Now, it's a deep mind and it's a great mind, but there's a little bit of a closure. Think of a crab and think of it going inward. It's inward because Cancers are very, very, very loyal to what they think, what they feel, to their worlds around them, to their beliefs, to what they were taught inside their families or from their teachers or their masters or their gurus that they loved. Cancers, like crabs, are not very spontaneous, to tell you the truth. They don't change their minds and they don't change their hearts very easily. They need things well planned out, to say the very least. They don't find security inside spontaneity. Cancers are kind of stubborn. They're hard to move. They resist change. Why? Because safety and security, feeling safe, feeling in familiar territory is one of the most important things in a Cancer's life. Cancers are here to make things safer and make things more secure and to feel safety and to feel security. They are wary of change. They are good at battening down the hatches to prepare for the hurricane. So that kind of conflicts with being wildly spontaneous. Now, unless you have a lot of Gemini in your chart, and a lot of Cancers have Gemini in their chart. They usually have a Mercury in Gemini or a Venus in Gemini. Now, sometimes they'll get a moon in Gemini or a rising in Gemini. So if you've got a lot of Gemini in your chart, you won't be able to relate to that 100%. You'll probably be able to relate to it a little bit, but not to 100%. I want you to know that Cancers are pretty locked into their routines, and they designed and developed their routines to be safe, to be comfortable, to be at home, because that's what makes them feel comfortable. Cancers are ruled by the moon. So I really want you to know your moon sign. And you know that here at Soul Navigation, we don't do sun sign astrology. So if you are a Cancer, if you're dating a Cancer, you have Cancer rising, you need to go see where the moon is in your chart. Or if you're dating a Cancer, go see where their moon is, because the moon sign is the ruler of the house that Cancer is placed in. And if you're Cancer rising, it is the ruler of your entire chart. It's very, very important for Cancers to know their moon sign. These people are highly hypersensitive. Their moon sign is sort of the undercurrent or the undertow of how they're really dealing with their emotions. This is also a good time to tell you that Cancers are part of the cardinal cross. So we've got Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra. Cardinal signs play defense on the football team. They don't play offense, they play defense. So they're suited up and they're prepared to go after what's coming at them. So wherever you have Cancer in your chart, this is where you play defense. This is where you are on defense. This is where you stand guard. And this is where you will ferociously protect the line. I think this is because Cancers did not come out of the womb and innately trust life and trust people. There's an innate distrust that they will unwind with experiences over time, and they will come to trust people as they get to know them. It takes time to get the loyalty and trust of a Cancer. So if you're involved with a Cancer and you feel like they still don't totally trust you, I get it. They're a hard nut to crack. They always are kind of like a good Scorpio looking for what's going to go wrong. Where's the weakest link, the fallout, if you will. And that's because they're also hyper-focused on security and safety. Let's talk about what is so wonderful about dating a Cancer and about the Cancerian part of your chart. I want you guys to know that Cancers still sort of believe in the fairy tale. They do believe in true love. Now, I know a lot of Cancers that have given up on it, and that is a very, very sad, if you will, story usually. That usually comes from a very sad place and a very sad story, because down deep inside, Cancers do believe in romance and in true love. This part of your chart is kind of the romance part of your chart too. So I want you to think about walking in the moonlight and candlelight dinners and bubble baths with champagne flowing or hot chocolate on a cold night by the fire, or beautiful and thoughtful gifts finding you, or fresh cut flowers and music throughout the house, or holding hands, a memory scrapbook, or pictures of you and your loved ones lining the dresser. It is a magical experience when you are involved with a beautiful, healthy, well-adjusted Cancer. Now, you might think that I just described Venus, and I know that it sounds like that, but you see, Cancer is ruled by the heart. So the things that make your heart swell, and maybe they're different things than what I just mentioned, but Cancers come from the heart and the passion that lives in the heart. Cancers are in search of true love, and they work hard to figure out how to truly love you. That is probably the single most beautiful thing about being involved with a Cancer. And in your own chart, this is where true love wants to exist. What subject do you want to write poetry about? Yeah, that's where wherever Cancer is in your chart, whatever house it's in, that's where you're going to write your poetry. The moon does operate a lot like Venus, but it's more soulful. It's not just a pretty face. It is the soul of the pretty face, or it is the beautiful soul of just the face. Cancer asks you to fall in love with that soul. So it's very, very deep. Cancers are deep. This is one of the deepest vortexes in your chart. So where is that? What house you have Cancer in is where you do not want superficial answers, meanings, definitions, or experiences. So Cancers truly know how to give from the heart. They know how to cook you chicken noodle soup on a cold day when you're sick in bed, warm up your perfect tea. They know how to and want to give you a foot massage. They want to take care of all of your needs with helping you weave your dreams to fruition. If they love you, you will feel supported in everything that you do. If love is a battlefield, well, then they'll carry extra ammunition to defend you. Isn't that a song? Love is a battlefield. You know, Cancers are extraordinarily romantic, doing all the things that are kind of unexpected. They know how to create magical memories that you will never forget. They're building the legacy between the two of you. They are usually some of the very best cooks on the planet. Do you have a Cancer in your life that is a phenomenal cook? I have met so few people that are Cancers and not very good cooks. Usually Cancers have a pretty deep relationship with food, kind of like Taurus. Again, a Venus sign. And they probably have some award-winning recipes or dishes that they're really proud of. If you score one of these dishes at their house, or they cook for you at your house, mom's perfect muffins or grandma's chocolate chip cookies, trust me, they really, really care about you. I mean, this is love. They know better than anyone else how to make you feel welcome in their home and how to make you relax and feel comfortable. And Taurus is very good at this too, but Cancer will create home for you. So wherever you have this in your own chart, this is how and where you nurture, how important home and family and loyalty and tradition is to you. When Cancers want to remove their stoicism, their straight face, and when they want to come from their heart, nobody can make you feel more nurtured, more seen, and more gotten, because they also understand your psychology. They're not just into the creature comforts, they're into the psychology of what makes you feel at home. Cancers are really good at making themselves indispensable to you. They'll make you a full-blown codependent, just like Libras do. Oftentimes, they will create life for you. because they're the mamas. They will be meeting all your needs, making you so comfortable that you finally figure out that you can't even live without them. You're not even sure you would make it one day without them in your life, making your life go. I mean, they'll pack you a lunch to go to school. Can you guys relate? Leave me a comment below and let me know if you can relate. I remember my next door neighbor, who wasn't really my aunt, but we called her Aunt Carol. I loved her so much. And I have 1,000 Aunt Carol stories. This was about in 1976, and she was the best cook in the whole wide world. But she was like a 1950s Betty Crocker cook. She used to own a hamburger restaurant and made the best hamburgers in Michigan. She made the best sauces, like out of Campbell's soup. And she made little crab toasties with mayonnaise and crab. And then she baked it in the oven on an English muffin. Oh my God, 1950s Betty Crocker cooking. And she let us lick the cookie dough out of the bowl when she made the most delicious cookies. I mean, I daydreamed all day long about going to her house after school because she had the best food and she always had a pantry overflowing with all the best snacks. She used 2 sticks of butter on her popcorn. 2 sticks. I was a full-blown codependent, and she was sweet enough to feed me every day. Cancers are also, what is so fun about being involved with a Cancer is that they can make your fantasies come true. They will go to the ends of the earth to please you, and you will see them as your dream guy or dream girl or dream person. Cancers understand the magnitude and the magnificence of partnership. They want to be in partnership. If you want a partner in crime or a partner in love, if they care about you, they will stand by your side and they will partner with you and make life and the chores that go along with life just a little bit sweeter. They will make raising kids more fun. They will make learning more fun, learning how to drive more fun, going on a road trip more fun. Everything's a little bit more fun because they're in tandem, they're in synchronicity oftentimes inside the objectives and mutual goals of the partnership. They will be there with you. Now, wherever you have Cancer in your chart, and if you're involved with a Cancer, I would use the word resourceful. Cancers are extremely resourceful, and this is where you're extremely resourceful. So if this is your sun sign, you're just flat out a very resourceful person, always figuring out what provisions are most needed to survive this day and tomorrow. They're probably very organized inside their resourcefulness. If you're involved with a Cancer, they're probably going to make sure that you do, in fact, have enough resources yourself going forward because they genuinely care. Wow, think of that. Also, if you love animals, this is like the perfect sign for you. Cancers and Pisces love their animals, and they will do a great job at loving your animal too. This is the part of your chart where you are an animal lover, animal communicator, and you will take care of all the needs and all the responsibilities of your animal. Now, one thing that I want to talk about with you that not a lot of astrologers talk about when it comes to Cancer, I want you to think about the 0-degree Cancer mark in the zodiac. So I want you to go look at your chart and see where 0 degrees is. Now, this is the exact precise place of the beginning of summer. This is the longest day of the year. This is the summer solstice at 0 degrees Cancer. This is usually happening on June 20th, 21st, or 22nd. It's usually around the 20th. I'm mostly speaking about the Northern Hemisphere, but I'll talk about the Southern Hemisphere in a minute because I got a lot of clients in the Southern Hemisphere. But wherever you have 0 degrees Cancer in your chart, this is where the sun is going to, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, have maximum light, maximum fullness. And the light, the sunshine, is the life force. Right? That's why I know Cancer is ruled by the moon, but it is also the mother archetype. And the mother archetype nurtures things, grows things, right? Grows things from the seed, incubates, gestates. Yeah. So if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, 0 degrees Cancer, and wherever 0 degrees Cancer in your chart is where you're full of light. Isn't that beautiful? And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, well, it's just in reverse. It's on December 20th, 21st, or 22nd. That is the brightest, longest day of sunshine for you in the Southern Hemisphere. So imagine being filled with that life force. So when June 20th hits, which I kind of love because that was the day my dad was born. And it just makes me so happy that he was born on the day filled with the most light. And if you share that birthday, let me know. I want to say happy birthday to you. That level of life force energy or growing something, you know, this is when you get maximum sunlight, maximum growth. So imagine being filled with that kind of potential to grow something. That part of your chart by house and by planet. And if you have a 0-degree Cancer planet, let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it and what it means for you, because that means that planet or that space in your chart, that theme in your chart has maximum life force energy in it. Cancer doesn't show it. Remember the crab, because there is a stoicism, but that is what they feel on the inside. They have that enormous depth of feeling for life, and they pulsate with this enormous feeling. This might explain also, because of the northern and southern hemisphere, the December and the June 20th dates, Cancers are a little bit chilly, on the outside. They're a little bit chilly when you first meet them, and then eventually they warm up. In the southern hemisphere, it is June 20th is going to be the shortest day, the day with the least amount of light, the coldest day. And in the northern hemisphere, it is the maybe warmest day. It is the summer. And so it's a hot cold. So if you're dating a Cancer, you're dating somebody who is very receptive to all mankind, and they are gifted with an innate understanding of the different vibrations and the different emotional and psychological states of being in every living being, including plants, animals, and people. So you will feel really gotten. And this is also where you will get people if you're involved with a healthy Cancer, one that really truly loves and cares about you. Cancers have a deep sense of heritage, and they like to build strong, lasting bonds with their tribe. Think of elephants, they're tribal creatures. I want you to also think of whales. I live in the Pacific Northwest up here in Seattle, and the whales, oh my God, I donate to the whale fund, because when they have one of their offspring that dies, many times the whole entire pod dies of heartbreak, and it breaks my heart. I follow these whales and their experiences through the news, and I feel like their heartbreak and their suffering when their young has died, and they don't discard their young. They swim with their deceased with them, and they won't let go. That is very Cancerian. And they go through massive mourning and depression when a whale in their pod or their young dies. Many of the mothers never recover. Sometimes the entire pod dies of depression. If I have any whale experts watching, please list some good whale documentaries or whale shows or whale information that we can all watch and benefit from. I would absolutely love that. This is much how Cancers live and love. There's an interconnectedness and an interdependence with Cancer. That's why a lot of Cancers are codependent, and a lot of people who are involved with Cancers get codependent. And you will feel this type of incredible bond. I don't think there is another sign that understands the bond as deeply as Cancer does. But as you all know, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Especially if you can't reciprocate. So now I'm going to go into what is so damn hard about dating a Cancer. Yeah, I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I know I might, so I'm going to try to talk kind of sweetly about the harder stuff, but I just want you sweet Cancers to lower the walls and know that I'm coming from a truly loving place. I love my Cancers, but I want to take this opportunity to give you a perspective from 10,000 feet above and express Cancer in its shadow side a little bit, where it can go when it's unhealthy. Now, this is just raw Cancer energy. Remember, we don't do sun sign astrology, and you are your whole chart. So if you can't relate to all of this, you obviously are healthy, or you have more stuff than just Cancer going on. I hope understanding this negative part of Cancer in your own self, because remember, wherever you have Cancer, you're going to have this in you too. And in your relationships might help you grow healthier relationships, lead you to deeper understanding, lead you to better communication, and maybe help you remove just some really bad emotional habits that you might have. I just hope it can be a growing moment for you. Okay, what's so hard? I want to tell you, it's really hard to get Cancers to change their feelings or their minds once they've made them up. They get so stuck to their own perspective and their own wound, and their wounds are very real to them. You cannot talk them into seeing their wound a little differently or building compassion for their enemy that betrayed them or hurt them or wounded them. That is very difficult to do. They oftentimes feel like their wounds, their perception, their way, their feelings are the only way, and they're not super open to the opinions or ideas of other people. I'm being honest with you. Can you relate to this? Are you involved with a Cancer, and can you relate to that? And it's because those opinions, those new ideas that you have, could actually ask them to change up their routine, which would change up their safety mechanisms that are all neatly in place to create security. So this brings up, if they're going to change their minds, change their story, change their perspective, change their routine, change their system, change their heart, change their feelings. Well, this is going to bring up a new thing for them that they're not yet prepared or equipped around. And so it actually brings up fears. You know how change can be fearful? Yeah, that's this. It's really hard being involved with somebody who constantly has their defenses up. So if you're involved with somebody who has a very strong Cancer chart signature, you will be working very hard, maybe even walking on eggshells, maybe eating glass for dinner, trying to get them to get their walls down, trying to get them to get their defenses down, trying to get them to hear you in a non-defensive way, trying to get them to open up their listening to you or just hearing you. And this, quite frankly, can be exhausting. Cancers are the great manipulators of the zodiac. I would say Libra probably second to Cancer. Cancers are emotional manipulators, and they're also, like Scorpio, emotional blackmailers when they are not healthy. They come with strings attached. Even if they say there's no strings attached, oh yeah, there's a whole undercurrent that you can't see. And I'm telling you right now, the strings are attached, meaning they're going to do really sweet things for you. But underneath the surface, and maybe they're not even aware of it. Maybe it's in their subconscious. Maybe they are absolutely innocent around knowing that they've even got strings attached. It's not for free. Whatever nice thing they did for you, it's probably not for free. It's going to cost you something. But what's the price you're going to pay? Well, we don't know that because we don't know what currency your Cancer is playing with. And let me remind you, you have this inside of you too, somewhere. So where is it that you're not going to play for free? What's the currency? Are they working in cash? Are they working in friendship? Is their currency love? Is their currency affection, physical touch, sex, attention, your loyalty? What's the currency? Yeah, one of those things will be withheld from you. Their time, their love, their affection, their devotion, their loyalty, their sweetness, their food. If you don't meet their expectations, if you don't do your part, right? Whatever it is they're expecting of you. Yeah, and that is probably one of the hardest things in dealing with Cancerian energy. This is really difficult, especially for the more independent signs that are clueless around how this operation, tit for tat operation works. And so that would be Gemini, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Aries. Like they don't even get the tit for tat. Aries might a little bit. And then Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Gemini, they're clueless on this subject. Like, wait a minute, what? Why are you withholding from me? What did I do? Oh, I didn't give you enough attention? Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I was just being me. And I will say, if you're a healthy Cancer, you've probably learned all that. But if you're not a healthy Cancer, if you're just an average healthy Cancer, yeah, you probably dabble in this. Can you guys Cancers be honest and make a little comment about this? I know you probably hate me. You probably hate me. But go look at where this is in your chart. And this is sort of the emotional deal maker, deal breaker part of you. I want you guys to know about it. So when your Cancer does this to you, you can actually know what's really going on. You non-Cancers that are suffering at the hands of your Cancer that is quietly punishing you in a tit for tat and you have no idea, you can thank me later. Now, the next thing I want to say can be a good thing or a hard thing, depending on who you're involved with. Before you fall in love with your Cancer, I want you to ask them all about their mama, their relationship with their mom, who their mom is, if they love their mom, what their mom gave them, what their mom did not give them. I want you to figure out the whole entire relationship about their mama, because this is the primary driver in their entire life. So for good or for bad, if their mother was neglected and created wounds, or if their mother fulfilled them and was like the momager of their life, you need to know, because you will be involved with that wound, blessing, gift, or hardship or challenge. You will be dealing with that. You will be interfacing with that your whole relationship long. So if their mother is inseparable with them, I just want you to know you will be taking a back seat to that. And if their mother has hurt them or wounded them, I just want you to know you will be dealing with that PTSD and those triggers your whole life long. The mother is so absolutely critical and important to the Cancer. The umbilical cord actually did not actually get cut. They cannot abandon their mothers usually, even if they don't like their mothers. They have to take care of their mothers. And they have a lot of guilt around their mothers if they do abandon their mom. I just want you to know that this can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you feel about their mom. By the way, if they hate their mom, you're still not allowed to hate their mom. Don't love her, just be neutral. You need to just mirror what they feel. So if they adore their mom, you need to adore their mom. If they adore their mom and you don't like their mom, problem. They're if they hate their mom and you adore their mom, yeah, that's another problem. You need to be loyal to them and try to have the same relationship, or at least appreciate the relationship that they have with their mother. So if their mother wounded them and their mother just stood by while all these bad things happened, you need to get on that same bandwagon and feel what they feel and think what they feel. And you do not talk them out of their mother wounds. You don't try to heal their mother wounds. You don't try to fix them, because they're going to choose how they feel about their mama, and you just need to do what they are doing. And if their mom isn't alive, this still is the same story. It doesn't matter if their mother is on the earth plane or up in heaven above. It does not matter, because that relationship is still intact. So wherever you have Cancer in your chart, this is where your mama and what she did or didn't give you, what she did or didn't do, how well she loved you, how well she didn't love you, just whatever the relationship was, the conduit there is the boss of you, is the boss of that part of your chart. Your mother's influence, for good or great or worse or bad or challenge or whatever, subconsciously running that part of your chart. Can you guys relate? Does anybody have a story that they want to share in the comments below? Because your comments mean so much. You really help other people learn and grow. And by the way, if you're finding this channel for the very first time, I highly encourage you to get a reading with somebody over on my team. You can just go to soulnavigation.com and you can see all the readers, including myself, and book a reading with one of us. And if you want to dive deeper into astrology, I really want to encourage you to look at all of the astrology reports and packages that I have in my shop. You will love them. I didn't write them personally. They are so good. And I absolutely love my new Soulmates package. I can't say enough good things about it. It is just so good. My Lovers package is out of this world. It is so good. And if you're just starting, if you're a beginner, you should get the starter package. You can go check them all out at soulnavigation.com. Back to the mother. If you're a Cancer rising, I am telling you, your mom or the person who raised you as a mother is so prominent in your life, just extraordinarily prominent. It's like they sit right here. So you are seeing through them into your life. But I'll tell you that this can be fantastic if you got great stuff from your mom. Too much of a good thing can also be very burdensome for the other person in your life. And I will tell you that if you're dating a Cancer and it comes down to, or somebody who has strong, prominent Cancer in their chart, and it comes down to picking you or their mother, a lot of the times, the Cancer person will pick the mother. And you kind of want them to. And you kind of just need to understand that they're going to pick their mother, because they can't really live very well without doing right by their mother. They just can't handle the level of guilt, sadness, and depression by abandoning mom. Now, I know some Cancers have to, because it was just so awful. And I commend you for making healthy decisions that align with your truth inside. But my God, it's hard to do. And it causes very deep sadness. So another really hard thing about being involved with the Cancer is they are so sensitive and so emotional, but they contradict that a little bit by the stoic, brave, straight face that they wear. They wear very serious faces, and it almost sometimes looks immovable. So you can feel punished just by their pensive look on their face, even when you've done nothing wrong. And I don't know why Cancers don't wear gregariously happy faces, or walk into a room with gregarious, flamboyantly happy dispositions, but they don't. And I think it has something to do, again, with being self-protective. Like they feel too vulnerable, revealing all their happy vibes. They're very serious. They're serious shit. Cancers are serious shit. And they can be happy. Absolutely. There's tons of happy Cancers, but you need to be a special enough person in their life to get that happiness to bubble out of them, to get the bubbles to just pop. They don't walk around the earth usually looking like a gleeful, happy person. Any Cancers want to comment on that? I know they can be on the inside. They just don't usually lead with that. However, when their sun sign progresses into their Leo placements, they get happier. So this is usually a little bit later in life. And if you don't know where your planets have progressed to, you should go get my Advanced Astro package, because I give you your progressions in such deep detail, and the report in the chart is just so important for you to know about. You will progress into Leo, and you will have 30 years of Leo progressed energy running your world. And that's usually when Cancers get a little happier. Now, my mom is in her late 70s, and I will truthfully say she is one of the happiest human beings I have ever met in the entire world. But I will also say she was not a very happy person. She had so much tragedy in her life, probably for the first half of her life, like really painful tragedy. And she lived with a sadness and a melancholy inside of her. So this seriousness with this happiness inside, sort of like a buried treasure, can be really, really exhausting. So where do you have this stoicism and kind of this uber seriousness and this hard shell, if you will? Where do you have that in your own chart? Where are you a little bit too serious? Because it's not in perfect alignment, because you're probably much happier than the vibrations you just naturally reveal. As I mentioned, Cancers can be passive aggressively punitive. They can be silently punitive, and they can be, and this oftentimes comes from being extraordinarily jealous. They are one of the more jealous signs, crimes of passion with Cancers, and they feel very, very possessive about the people that they love. If the person they love does not return the same level of love to them, I gave you a Mercedes and you gave me a toaster oven. What the hell? I obviously now know you do not love me to the same degree I loved you. It's over. Or I will just make you pay. I'll just probably not have the guts to leave you. And instead, I will just make you suffer. I will make you suffer until you also buy me a Mercedes, right? Or something better. Meet me where I'm at, or give me a little more, just so I know we're on the same page, right? It's even. There is a jealousy, and this can actually wreck and ruin and sabotage Cancers' lives. So they will long for and they will expect your undivided attention, your most loyal attention, and they will pay you back in unconditional love if you give that to them. But this puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the zodiac. And the rest of the zodiac, except for Pisces, probably isn't as good at unconditional love as Cancer is. And like I mentioned before, not everybody wants to deal with that kind of pressure. Cancer doesn't even think they're needy. Cancer's like, oh, I'm so independent. I'm not needy. I don't have any needs at all. Yeah, that's because they're repressed, oppressed, and hidden from themselves. And they're hiding them from you too. I know you guys are mad at me. You hate me now. Hate me. I get it. Cancers are warriors because one of their biggest fears, yes, safety and security and all that, but it's rejection. And feeling emotionally disappointed is kind of a chronic problem for Cancers. Are you a Cancer and do you feel emotionally disappointed? Yeah. And if you have a big Cancer signature in your chart, people probably disappoint you. And that breaks my heart because people are not even aware of your needs to even know that they are in fact disappointing you, because Cancer doesn't like saying what it is they need. So everybody else is walking around oblivious thinking you're just fine because your face says you are, but on the inside, you're really not. So getting vulnerable and revealing your heart and your feelings a little quicker, a little faster, and saying, hey, I really want to tell you something. I'm not feeling seen, appreciated, or heard inside this connection and relationship. And also assume that the other person doesn't even know that they're doing that. So, and I know you probably don't even know that I need those things or want those things. I know you're not trying to intentionally hurt me, but it does kind of hurt. That is a fantasy conversation. Like that's the conversation that I fantasize that all my Cancers in my life could actually have with me, right? Because I'm probably guilty of that myself. I'm not a Cancer. I don't know if I am, because they don't ever come forward with what it is they need. And their face certainly makes it seem like they don't have any emotional needs, right? However, I suspect they do. Yeah, so check in with your Cancers, and they're going to lie to you. You're going to ask them, so, are you getting your needs fulfilled in this relationship? And they're going to be like, oh yeah, they are. And then they'll punish you silently. And when they ghost you, You'll know. When they served you your cold meal that was supposed to be hot, you'll know, right? You'll see when they start checking out and not caring, and you'll feel it because you know what it feels like when they do care about you. It's extraordinary. Nobody does it better. So when that's gone, it hurts. I was saying that they are worriers because they fear rejection, but they can obsess over worst case scenarios. They are almost paranoid. And I know a couple cancers that are like paranoid about the worst thing that's going to happen. This can bring a melancholy, a giant fear, give them a bout of anxiety that is almost paralyzing and unmanageable. So help them see the positivity. Not that you can teach your Cancer very much. I mean, they're pretty stuck in their own perspectives and their own opinions, but you don't have to go down the rabbit hole of worrying with them. You can just say, if that's how you want to spend your energy, I choose not to. Please don't be mad at me. Please don't think I don't love you if I don't want to prep for the worst case scenario with you. I just don't want to loan my energy to that. And if you're a healthy Cancer and you don't worry about worst case scenario, what's your secret? How do you do that? Tell us, leave us a comment. And you guys, please like and share this and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I would be so grateful. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers and I believe we can do it. Also, if you guys want all my behind the scenes videos and my invitation to my parties and master classes, by the way, I am having a free party coming up for all my super supporters and superstar super supporters. We're going to talk everything astrology. We're going to have giveaways. Anyways, I do these parties quite a few times a year for my members just to say thank you. And we have so much fun. Consider joining the channel. If you've gotten this far, you probably really love astrology and you will love all my teachings in my members only videos. Anyways, I want to say one of the hard things and one of the good things is Cancers really don't like confrontation. They're kind of like Libras that way. But because they don't like confrontation, they're just not honest or revealing about what their vulnerabilities are. That's why they ghost you. That's why they don't confront you. That's why they're passive aggressive. That's why they hide their aggression. That's why they do veiled threats and veiled digs and veiled put downs. And right, that can be painful. You could also say that's very polite. If you're a straight talker and you just want it more upfront, that's very tiring. So wherever you have Cancer in your chart, this is where you're going to passively dominate. So know that all of this is inside of all of us somewhere, and it depends on the planets and the placements once again. So if you get dumped by a Cancer, first of all, it's a very big statement about you because it's very rare for Cancers to break up with you. And if your Cancer did break up with you, they probably have somebody else in their heart already, because very rarely do they leave for just flat out loneliness. They're highly capable of dealing with really difficult people and even abusive situations, sadly, because they're loyal to people that aren't even good to them sometimes. They're loyal to their abusers, if you will. I don't recommend that. I don't like that. And I don't want to promote that. But I do want to say I understand that. They have a very difficult time saying goodbye. It's like the whales. Right? I mean, there's heartbreak in letting even your lover who's not very good to you go because they can feel that security. It's like a misery that they've come to understand, a misery that they know. And so they can stay connected to it even when it's not good for them. I can pretty much tell you that if they left you, it's probably after they tried every single thing that there is to do to make it work, improve it, make it better, keep things together. If they dumped you, I bet you deserved it. I don't know. That might not be true completely because we got to look at the whole chart. But I'm just telling you, it takes a lot for Cancer to walk away. Now, you've probably been dumped for a few potential reasons. You either did not fit in with their family or their mother or even their children. Maybe they don't like the way that you parent your mutual children, or they don't like the way you interact with their kids if they came with kids, or you just don't fit into the concept of family that they have. Maybe you're not a family guy or a family girl. If you can't accept their family or their traditions or their way of life or their children or their pets, they're not going to be able to do it. Now, they're going to try to get you to adjust and alter and fit in and be nicer and try this and try that. And then if you just can't, they're going to walk away. They're very loyal. So do you truly accept where they come from and who they are and how they love and who they love? That's a big question, because if you don't, eventually Cancer will walk away. The second reason has probably something to do with loyalty. So did you not reciprocate the love and affection that they bestowed upon you onto them? Did you give somebody else all your loyalty, time, and attention? Yeah. Whoopsie. Oh, oopsie. Now I don't feel safe and secure with you. So guess what? Out of here. Yeah, they don't deal with disloyalty. They can't. It just wrecks their life. And another reason could be that you're just not around enough. They do not do long distance relationships very well. They are not going to be with the traveling salesman, or the trucker, the long haul trucker who drives 300 days out of the year. They're not going to be with the person who lives in the other country. They need full blown constant contact. All hands on deck. Did you neglect your Cancer? If so, this is probably why they dumped you. Now, you might not have even known that you neglected them because they probably didn't even tell you what their needs were. So it's kind of tough. I get it. So if you want to dump your Cancer, first of all, be ready to absolutely crush a soul, especially if they love you, because they are not going to take it well and they are not going to deal with it well. And this is where you will probably see their emotions. You're going to see them distraught for a long period of time and be prepared to console the very person whose heart you broke. They may even threaten to hurt themselves, sabotage their lives, or do something just god-awful to themselves just to get you to call back, just to have a chance to renegotiate the terms and conditions of your relationship. But if you truly care about the Cancer that you're letting go, do not let them sacrifice their values, their beliefs, their loved ones, the things that they love and cherish and are nurturing in their life for your sorry ass. If you're not good enough for a Cancer, walk away and spare them. Call it off. If you can't love them well, just tell them that. I can never reciprocate to you what you give to me. It's not right and it's not fair to take from you. They won't hear this. They're going to be wah, 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 wah. They're going to be deaf. They're going to say, oh no, what you give me, the breadcrumb you give me is good enough. They'll say that, especially if they're young, but don't let them. Just don't listen. Now, here's what's going to happen. If you love the Cancer that you know it's not right with, and you love somebody more and you're going to let them go, I want you to be prepared. They are going to be really hard to get rid of. They will lie to you about, oh, I don't need any of that. Oh, me? I don't need that. Oh, gosh, I don't need constant contact. Absolutely not. Oh, you can have your independence. Oh, really? Well, you didn't like it when I was taking it. Now you like it because I'm leaving? I'm confused. They might stalk your social media to see if you found somebody else, somebody worse than them, of course. They might call you just to see if you've blocked them. And they won't like that. They might drive by to see if you're cooking dinner for somebody else. God forbid you do that. Or see if anybody is in your home, because they know that's a really big deal. If somebody's in your house, that's like a dagger through their heart. They can be kind of needy, clingy, and desperate inside a breakup. And they're just waiting for the moment where they can re-enter. I've seen Cancers wait 6 months to a year to 4 years for their loved one to return, or just for a little crack when they can get in there and just renegotiate the terms. The very best thing, the very kindest way that you could break up with a Cancer is to tell them that you just cannot see having children with them, or you cannot see yourself helping them raise your children or even interacting with your children. Tell them that you don't have enough patience or tolerance or the thing inside of yourself to love their children like their children deserve. Or you could do the same thing about their pet. I just can't deal with your pet in the bed, and I don't want to make you choose, and you deserve your pet, right? I'm just this evil person that doesn't really like your dog. They'll go, they'll leave, they'll hate it. They'll try to convince you to like their dog, and then they'll get it. You kind of have to make Cancer hate you a little tiny bit to want to leave. Make them hate you. I know, you got to be a little bit mean. I know. So you guys, this is my Cancer video. I hope you got something good out of this. And I hope you Cancers know that I love you. I do. I love you to the bottom of my soul. I just know how unhealthy each sign looks. And I want you guys to be aware so you can grow yourselves around what the shadow sides look like. I do love my Cancers, and I've got really healthy, beautiful Cancers in my life, thank God. And I feel like I am so well loved by my Cancers. And I try really hard to love them back even better than how they love me. Yeah, I try. I hope you guys are wonderful. I hope you like this video. And from my house here in Seattle to wherever you are at in the world, thank you for your love and support. Until next time, bye for now.